As if this weekend's series in Houston were not enough of a measuring stick, the calendar also reveals it's time the Red Sox take serious stock of themselves. Every baseball team has enough games under its belt to know its strengths and weaknesses. The clock is officially ticking on the July 31st trading deadline, which for some teams won't be nearly enough time to shore up their weak spots, even if they care to try. Others, especially the Red Sox, hope to maintain their current level of play. And at first glance, the Red Sox might look as if they don't have to make a move. Few teams with this kind of early success have failed to advance deep into the playoffs. The Red Sox have dominated within their division, 25-10, and across the league as well. Of the 5 AL teams they have yet to face, Indians, Mariners, White Sox, Twins, Tigers, just the first 2 are entertaining postseason hopes. The rotation is a top 5 unit. Their bullpen has the 3rd best FWAR. Their offense is near the top of the charts in every category, and their defense, while not standout, is respectable overall, especially in the outfield. If it ain't broke, why fix it, right? The Astros did not make a significant deal before last year's July 31st trading deadline. Acquiring lefty Francisco Liriano was a tweak. Their lock on the AL West, however, was ironclad. From July 4 through the end of the month, their lead was never less than 151 halves games. Home field advantage throughout October looked assured, but as August wore on, backlash began to grow about the lack of additions. The lead shrank a little bit, the cry went out for ownership to go the extra mile, and the result was a blockbuster trade for Justin Verlander on August 31. It's close to impossible to imagine the Astros winning it all without the postseason contributions of Verlander, who was 4-1 with a 2.21 ERA and the ALCS MVP in 5 starts. So, let's poke at areas where the Red Sox are most likely to be exposed as soft and vulnerable. Maybe these areas will never become weak, or maybe new ones will emerge. Maybe the Red Sox will race out to such a big lead in the AL East that everything will be butterflies and popsicles. Something tells me that won't be the case, especially when the Red Sox hands might be tied when it comes to actually filling any holes that appear. Their preference will always be to turn to their farm system for help, but the minor league system is not nearly as flush as it has been in blue-chip talent ready to step in. There is no Xander Bogaerts, Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi or Rafael Devers knocking at the door, nor any apparent answers for either the rotation or the bullpen. The Red Sox are also up against the luxury tax threshold, so acquiring a veteran with a large contract appears unlikely unless they're able to dump a large salary themselves. That appears unlikely. By most estimates, the Red Sox are at a $233 million payroll, just $4 million shy of the next tax level. They very much do not want to go over that, and it's hard to imagine they would. Barring an injury, they may have to look for a relatively low-paid diamond in the rough in order to answer questions that have yet to reveal themselves in full. We'll press the case and start poking around, beginning with the most likely pressing problem. Second base. Maybe Dustin Pedroia will start to resemble the 4-time All-Star he is, but while we patiently wait for that, his recent bout of knee soreness has landed him back on the disabled list. Pedroia had to deal with the knee last July, too, when he was clearly not himself. A lot was going on in the infield then. The Red Sox released third baseman Pablo Sandoval and called up Rafael Devers in July. While everyone focused on the club trading for a third baseman like Todd Frazier, the Red Sox actually had their eye on somebody to back up or replace Pedroia. They found him in Eduardo Nunez, whose hot bat obscured his defensive liabilities. It was a good trade until Nunez came up lame with his own knee issue. That knee supposedly is fine this year, but Nunez has not been the same at the plate and he is not a good second baseman. It's way too early to say whether Pedroia will be perfectly fine. The initial look is not especially encouraging. He does not look like a spring chicken. We'll see how he progresses, but already the Red Sox have to be looking for possible sources of help. Internally there's Brock Holt, who has been showing signs of improved play all around, and Sue Lin. And there's the near certainty that the Red Sox will not consider those two enough of a reason to stand pat. They should be scouting aggressively for a middle infielder. Somebody who's a big upgrade on Nunez defensively, somebody with a better bat, and somebody who can step in if Pedroia has a setback or does not round into form quickly enough. The next 2 months are so important. The Red Sox have to get a clear read on Pedroia's abilities and durability. If only the Rockies weren't leading the NL West through Friday, then perhaps the Red Sox could toy with renting free agent to be DJ LeMahieu, who's making only $8.5 million this year. That's a stretch, especially on June 3rd. Same story with Minnesota's Brian Dozier, at the end of his $9 million contract, and Pittsburgh's Josh Harrison, $10 million. Kansas City would be happy to talk about Whit Merrifield, the late bloomer with an above-average bat, okay glove and lots of service time, 4+ years, before becoming a free agent. He'd command a lot of talent in return. Joe Panik of the Giants is another name to consider. And there's always Jed Lowrie, a good offensive player who's average on defense. He's at the end of his $6 million contract, so he's enough of a fit. The Red Sox would need to decide that he's enough of an upgrade over Holt in that case. Would the Rangers listen on Jerks and Profar? Diamondbacks on Kettlemart? Would the Red Sox want Miguel Rojas from Miami if only for his glove? It's too soon to say on some of these questions. But it's not too soon to ask bullpen. It's almost a given that every contender ponders snatching another reliever before the trading deadline. And, despite the contentment voiced by one and all associated with the Red Sox front office about their bullpen, they can't possibly be serious. Wake me when Tyler Thornburg actually is activated, because it's hard to fathom how he can be viewed as the answer. I'm willing to wager Travis Shaw hits his 50th home run for the Brewers before Thornburg starts to contribute meaningful stints. The loss of Carson Smith is a big one. The Red Sox should go out and get another arm. The list of available relievers will become larger and larger by midsummer. Addison Reed was a decent enough pickup last year. A similar ad is going to be called for. Loose threads all-star ballots are out, a month later than in past years, which is a good thing. No reason to spend 10+ weeks pondering these kinds of decisions, plus it allows May-surgers to fall back to earth. The most fascinating race looks to be at DH. JD Martinez is head and shoulders above anyone else, yet slow to heat. Giancarlo Stanton will get more than his share of votes. The true wildcard will be Shohei Ohtani, who's listed as a DH and has to get to the All-Star game somehow. Will he steal votes away from Martinez? Will he be selected for the pitching staff, even if he can't pitch? The coolest option by far would be for him to both pinch hit and relieve. If not, then when? Think how much better the Red Sox record against AL East teams could get if the Orioles trade both Manny Machado and Adam Jones, and the Blue Jays trade Josh Donaldson and others. Going out on thick limb to declare it looks as if Martinez is adjusting okay to hitting at Fenway Park. In his 34 career games, he is hitting .366, 48 for 131, with 10 doubles, 12 home runs and 31 RBI. His .733 slugging percentage leads all in baseball history, with at least 100 at-bats there. It's good. It's a cool park, he said. It's definitely fun hitting in front of the fans and stuff like that. So it's been great. According to ESPN research, 12 of the 22 World Series winners since 1996 led their division on June 1st. Only one team, the 2014 Tigers, held that division lead from June 1st to the end of the season. It's fine to ignore launch angle. Just don't pretend it's not a thing. Through the end of May, according to ESPN, the average launch angle has been 11.8 degrees. The prior 3 seasons, it was 11.1, 10.8 and 10.1.